Hi everyone, I'm Annika Duffrey and welcome to World Deconstructed, where we will break down complex international topics for busy teenagers like you. In this episode, we will be looking at dollar dominance. Today, we'll be exploring the intriguing question of whether the dominance of the US dollar, the ever-present heavyweight in the world of finance, is starting to lose its grip on global trade. Let's start with the history of dollar dominance, especially the Bretton Woods Agreement. The journey of the US dollar as the world's dominant currency can be traced back to the aftermath of World War II. In 1944, representatives from 44 allied nations gathered in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, to design a new international monetary system. The outcome was the Bretton Woods Agreement, which established the US dollar as the world's primary reserve currency. Under this agreement, major currencies were pegged to the US dollar, and the dollar in turn was pegged to gold at a fixed exchange rate. This system provided stability and predictability in international trade, bolstering the dollar's credibility and its attractiveness. And they were like, hey world, we got a deal for ya. How about we use the dollar as the main currency for international trade? Now let's talk about the dollar's convertibility to gold. From the late 1940s to the early 1970s, the dollar's convertibility to gold acted as a pillar of strength. Nations could exchange their US dollar reserves for gold, which instilled confidence in holding dollars as a reserve currency. This system further solidified the dollar's dominant position. Now, the end to the dollar's convertibility of gold begins with the Nixon shock. However, by the early 1970s, mounting trade deficits and excessive printing of dollars led to concerns about the sustainability of the Bretton Woods system. In 1971, facing pressure on its gold reserves, then U.S. President Richard Nixon decided to end the dollar's convertibility to gold, a move famously known as the Nixon shock. Seems like Nixon took up very literally the sign from Truman's times that said, "The buck stops here." Now we move into the era of floating exchange rates. The abandonment of the gold standard marked a significant turning point in global finance. Currencies began to float freely, with their values determined by market forces. The dollar, now detached from gold, continued to be widely accepted and traded, and its dominant role persisted. Now, the growth of dominance with globalization, especially with the petrodollar system. Another pivotal moment came in the 1970s when the United States negotiated with major oil exporting nations to price oil exclusively in US dollars. This created what is known as the petrodollar system, further solidifying the dollar's importance in global trade and finance. Now let's talk about dollarization and globalization. As globalization accelerated in the latter part of the 20th century, the dollar's status as the preferred medium of exchange and store of value became even more entrenched. Many nations choose to dollarize their economies, adopting the US dollar as their official currency or using it alongside their domestic currency. Now, the dot-com boom occurs and the tech revolution begins. The 1990s brought another surge in the dollar's dominance. The dot-com boom and the rise of technology companies from Silicon Valley propelled the dollar's attractiveness as the world's primary reserve currency. The dollar's role in facilitating global technology transactions and investments cemented its position as the currency of choice for international trade. Now we come to the current situation, the Greenback's long reign. As you can see, for much of recent history, the US dollar has stood tall as the undisputed king of currencies. It's like being the Beyoncé of currencies. All the single currencies, all the single currencies. It has been the preferred choice for international trade, investment, and reserve holdings. With its unmatched liquidity and widespread acceptance, the dollar has enjoyed an unchallenged reign. When you're the reserve currency, countries want you in their wallets. It's not just about being famous, it's about power. The US gets to borrow money easily and fund its government without breaking a sweat. Plus, it can boss around other countries with economic sanctions like a financial wizard, pulling strings behind the scenes. Now let's come to today's economy. As we step into the year 2023, experts are questioning whether the dollar's dominance will persist amid emerging challenges. Several factors have led to discussions about the future of the greenback, and we're here to unravel the complexities behind this captivating issue. Let's talk about how all this dollar drama affects our lives. Start by picturing it like a roller coaster ride at the economic theme park. And now, let's talk about the new kids on the block, specifically China's rising influence. One of the primary contenders challenging the dollar's dominance is the Chinese yuan. China's economic might and ambitious plans to internationalize the yuan have sparked debates about its potential to dethrone the dollar. The yuan's inclusion in the International Monetary Fund's special drawing rights basket has been a significant milestone on this journey. China's Belt and Road Initiative and its partnership with BRICS currencies have also played a role in promoting the yuan as a viable alternative for trade and investment. The world has its eyes fixed on China's determined strides in the financial world, keeping us all on the edge of our seats. Behind the curtain of the global economy, there's some serious drama going on. The dollar's dominance is clashing with geopolitical rivalries like an epic showdown between superheroes and villains. Now, let's talk about the stealthy erosion of dollar dominance. While the greenback may still dominate the headlines, there's a quiet shift taking place beneath the surface. The rise of non-traditional players and active diversifiers has introduced, diversity into the global currency landscape, posing potential challenges to the dollar's supremacy. Who are the new contenders trying to snatch the crown from the dollar? The Avengers of currencies, if you will. Countries like Russia, India, and Brazil are a powerful team of superheroes and have been exploring alternatives to the dollar, diversifying their foreign exchange reserves with an eye on reducing dependence on the greenback. The US dollar is finding itself in a dynamic tug-of-war against emerging alternatives that aim to level the playing field. It's like some countries are saying, "Hey dollar, you're not as shiny and new as you used to be." Now, what has been the responses from the US to the challenges to the greenback? Despite the shifting landscape, the US dollar's dominance is not expected to dissipate overnight. Several factors continue to fortify its position on the global stage. First, its safe haven status. In times of economic uncertainty, investors will flock to the US dollar as a safe haven asset. This trust in the dollar as a stable currency has helped maintain its supremacy. Next, its liquidity and market depth. The dollar's unparalleled liquidity and deep market make it the currency of choice for conducting international trade and investment transactions. Next, the reserve currency status. Central banks worldwide already hold significant portions of their foreign exchange reserves in US dollars, contributing to the greenback's continued strength. Now, let's talk about the dollar index, which measures the dollar's performance against other major currencies, and it remains a crucial benchmark for global investors. Now let's talk specifically about the US response. The United States is well aware of the challenges posed by other currencies and actively works to maintain its economic superiority. Policies such as investing in research and development, fostering innovation, and ensuring a robust financial infrastructure are all a part of the U.S. strategy to uphold the dollar standing. Furthermore, the U.S. Federal Reserve plays a key role in regulating monetary policy, impacting not only the domestic economy, but also influencing global financial markets. The Federal Reserve's actions can sway the dollar's strength and its attractiveness to international investors. The dollar isn't going down without a fight. The US is like a savvy poker player trying to maintain its advantage in the currency game. Now let's talk about some unpredictable geopolitical factors. While the US dollar remains resilient, geopolitical factors remain unpredictable. Geopolitical tensions, economic sanctions, and shifting alliances have the potential to disrupt the global currency landscape, leading to unforeseen consequences for the dollar and its challengers. Countries fear change and uncertainty, just like when you try a new hairstyle. And coordinating a global shift to a new reserve currency isn't a walk in the park either. Now, as we wrap up our exploration into the potential waning of dollar dominance, it's evident that the greenback's reign is far from over. Transitioning away from the dollar is not as easy as ordering a pizza. There are hurdles, my friends, hurdles like at the currency Olympics. While contenders like the Chinese yuan and others emerge, the dollar's safe haven status, liquidity, and reserve currency role continue to bolster its position. However, the world is witnessing a subtle transformation as new players explore alternatives, diversifying their reserves to reduce reliance on the dollar. As investors, central banks, and nations strategically navigate this evolving landscape, we'll be here to keep you informed, breaking down the complexities of the ever-changing global financial stage. If you want to learn more about this topic, check out these links, further exploring it, all in the description below. And have you read an article you don't understand or a headline you want more details on? Tell us in the comments, and we will deconstruct it for you. Do you have any recommendations on how we can improve this show for you? Please tell us in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends as well. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you know when our next episode drops. See you next time.